Yo, what's up, guys? So, honkaistarrail collab came out today morning on Asia servers and already out on Europe, I think, and soon will be out in NA as well when I'm recording this video. So, the two new characters, Saber and Archer, found themselves in T0 and T0.5 respectively. So, Archer's performance is been very, very impressive. He's been T0 for both MOC and probably Shadow as a free character without his light cone. That's really impressive. And for Saber, she's a little bit worse than Archer in terms of her output, but she's quite alright. She does require her signature to perform on a good level. The second option is like 18 to 20% worse, which is like the free option, and for Archer, it's like only 10%, I think. So for saver, you do need to consider the light cone as well, the signature. But yeah, she is staying for a long time, so you probably can get that as well if you are gonna get it anyway, as a fan of Fate series or something. Then of course that's like it will work fine. But yeah, today we'll take a look at that collab changes, like new character addition and all those changes. There's some phainon stuff as well. So let's take a look at the tier list right now. So here at a glance, if you see Anaxa moved up, and if you see here, the main two key points are like Anaxa getting moved up way too much. He's like really crazy for some reason. And Herta got down one tier. So the five, as if you know, this MOC does not have 5 target. It does kind of, but you can kill the mini enemies really quickly, and they don't spawn immediately. Only for the swarm it spawns. But she has not been doing that crazy in this MOC, and she's not doing anything against Huli, of course. But against the bug, it's quite all right. So even against the bus is not on the same level as some of these other characters like Castoris with Hyacinth, or like phainon. Of course, phainon is absolutely insane, by the way. But yeah, today we'll take a look at the changes. So let's get right into the changes here. Change log here. There's some changes, some for pure fiction and AS as well. So we'll take a look at the log here, and then we'll take a look at the tier list itself. So this is today 11th. They changed some stuff. So let's read through all this stuff. So yeah. Also, make sure to check Pride One out. They have great tier list for a lot of different gacha games. So they are really helpful in terms of builds and all that stuff. So yeah. In this update, we're adding Saver and Archer to the tier list and making some adjustment to some prior 3.4 placements based on community testing, feedback, and an initial round of primary data in all 3 modes. Alright, let's see what are the changes. So phainon release has caused quite a stir among the community, with some having incredible success with him and others less so. In response to this, we felt it necessary to proceed with an early round of data collection to look in phainon specifically. It's available on his profile but not on the MOCS PF pages yet. What we found is the following. Alright, let's see what they found from the testing. Players using sustains had worse scores across the boards. Of course, that's like normal. Most often significantly worse. Okay, so phainon is a character that's like made to be played sustainless, because he moves out of the other teammates area, and he's like alone with the enemy with a lot of shield, a lot of like damage reduction and healing. So that kind of kit is like made to be played for played without sustain. So you are not supposed to play phainon with a sustain. So I'd say he's balanced in a way that you need to be playing him without a sustain, because that's just how he's supposed to be played. If you add a sustain, that like kills his kit's part of him being in a different area other than the teammate, right? So if you know what I mean. So that's like how I think about it. Players with phainon signature perform significantly better, to be expected. Okay, so the signature is not that much better in terms of damage, I would say. It is better, of course, but the main part that makes the signature better is this thing. So let me just go to the light cones destruction, right? Let me just do that. So where is the destruction light cone? Okay, so this one. So the main thing that significantly better that makes this one significantly better than the next slot is it increases the wearer's base speed by 12%. So this base speed is really crazy, because it's not speed buff or anything. It's not speed percentage buff or anything. It's base speed. So this base speed does make him ultimate, make his speed inside of his ultimate form faster. So base speed increase is like broken, so it does make him quite a bit of faster inside the ultimate as well. So that's why it's like more impactful than it seems in terms of DPS. Of course, the defense ignore is nice, and the damage dealt is also nice, but the base speed is the main part in my opinion. So that's, I think, the main thing. Certain supports and team compositions overwhelmingly outperform others. Yeah, this is to be expected if you use Robin, Sunday, and Bronya, and in both of the MOC and PF. And if you change Ruan if you change like Robin for Ruan in Apocalypse Shadow, that will like be the best teams, and it will of course perform better than all the other teams because it's the best. That's what it's supposed to do, right? Based on data we now have, as well as community feedback and testing, we're making a few adjustments to Finance ratings. Okay, PF. So for PF, phainon is polarizing character in pure fiction. Okay, I'd say Phainon's worst game mode is pure fiction because it does not quite fit very well with the playstyle. It's kind of tedious, takes a lot of time, and doesn't really work that well, to be honest. I had a hard time gaining 40,000 points consistently. I could not get it most of the times, but yeah, if you're able to clear without the need of for a sustain, he performs well to very well. Yeah, I am able to clear without a sustain, but sometimes it does not clear 40,000 for me. But if your gear and team can't manage, you must run a sustain. His performance takes a massive hit. Yeah, of course, that to be expected. Finance signature is also more impactful in PF than it is in most modes. Yeah, because of the speed, base speed, as I said, contributing to the gulf of the performance some players may be observing. With that said, based on data from current pure fiction, we agree he is strong enough to sit alongside Anaxa and Argenti when assessed to pure fiction pure DPS. We're moving Phainon to 0.5 for now, and but we'll continue to monitor him. Okay, so Phainon is moving one tier. He was tier 1 for pure fiction, and he moved up to tier 0.5. Okay, I think they did not need to change him to tier 1 to tier 0.5 for PF, but they must have needed to change it to, they should have changed it for Apocalypse Shadow at least. So let's see what they say for Apocalypse Shadow. As expected, Phainon has proven himself worthy of T0 in MOC, but in addition to this, has also performed incredibly well in AS. Based on this, we're voice listing him to move up in the mode, pending his results in the next released phase. We'll be covering in a few days. Okay, so that's just saying, let's say it comes out, then we'll do more work. I'd say he'd already T0 for Apollo Shadow, but it's fine. They're waiting for Seridra as well. I don't agree with him being in tier 1 for Apocalyptic Shadow, or like even tier 0.5. So which tier is he for AS? Let's just take a look here. Which tier is he? For Apocalyptic Shadow, he is... This is tier 0.5. Where is Phainon? Okay, so they moved him up for both AS and PF. Or maybe he was already tier 0.5 in PF, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe I'm misremembering. He was already tier 0.5, I think, for AS. Yeah. Let's just take a look at the last change set of buffs then. I think Phainon debut. Okay, he was tier 0.5 in AS. Okay, I just forgot then. Okay, so that's what I said last time. I think I disagreed with him being on tier 0.5 even for Apocalyptic Shadow, because I thought he was T0, and I still think he's T0. They did not move him up. They said they are gonna wait one more version, and it will be updated in the next phase, I think. Okay, so not even a version, it will be updated as soon as highest release release. So yeah, we'll see. Or might not be next highest release, might be the next banner as well, like the next phase of 3.4. But yeah, we'll see what that brings us. So they moved for pure fiction and no other changes, and watch list for Apocalypse Shadows. Okay, so that's fair. Okay, so let's take a look at the next changes with our 2 new DPS characters. Unfortunately, outside of Phainon, in term data, we collected not useful asserting other recently changed characters, as their pre and post bug data is mixed together in players' clear histories. Okay, so they did not have any other thing to add in terms of the 4 buffed characters. All right, we'll see in the future then. Okay, so for saber, let's see here. Hold up. Saber and Archer. Okay, with Saber and Archer releasing two more, top DPS enter the fray, and as expected, both are strong. Based on our testing, we found Archer to excel in MOC and AS, earning him to tier placements. Okay. For Saber, we found her to be a little less specialized but more well-rounded, being serviceable in all 3 modes. Yeah, so as I said, Saber's floor is kind of lower than Archer. You need the light cone kind of, and yeah. So for Archer, while we had great success with Archer and found him to be an absolute beast in MOC and AS, we feel he's the strongest when accompanied by Sparkle, and thanks to the SP generation and SP cap increase he provides. Okay, so that's like obvious, as I said in my guide as well if you watched. Sparkle is the thing that you need for Archer. But if you don't have Sparkle, absolutely do not go for her, because this is the only one and only character that Sparkle will work with, and there are tons of other teams that uses Sunday then Sparkle, and this is the only team that uses Sparkle. So this is not really recommended for only one DPS. If you already have her, enjoy, of course, like me. But if you don't have her, absolutely don't go for her. But if you really like her, you can go for her. She's very cute, I guess. So yeah, we're starting him with the partner tag because of this, as well as we feel he isn't as strong without her. Okay, so they're adding partner tag for Archer with Sparkle. That's fair, because that's kind of the truth anyway. So he does need Sparkle in his team, otherwise the damage will fall off. You won't be able to consistently skill every turn. Even though you can't skill every turn, even with Sparkle, you have to manage a little bit. So if you saw my run earlier in my previous video, you will already know about that. It makes you check that video out. I got like a 2 cycle on the Swarm and 3400 points on both of the Apocalypse side. Yeah. So MOC T0, PF T5 and AS T0. Yeah, that's fair. So for Saber, we found Saber to be significantly more challenging to play than Archer and most other top tier characters. This is due to the nature of her action advance and the fact that it triggers from energy, which can be gained in differing amounts randomly based on the encounters. If you have played the Herta with Sunday or another action advance, you will be familiar with her challenges. Only they are quite a bit more tricky. With that said, when played effectively, we feel she is able to compete with the characters in the tiers we have placed alongside a bit, and with a bit more effort needed. Okay, so MOCT 0.5, AST 0.5 and PFT1. Okay, so as I said, for the build guide, Saver's action advance mechanics so is absolutely ruin your speed tuning. So do not try to speed tune her with 135 Saver or something. Just go for attack ports and go a slow Saver, fast Sunday, hyper speed Sunday, 160 Sunday. That will give you far better results than a -1 build. The -1 build is like it's like a poison if you play Saver. So every time you action advance, it will like ruin the speed tuning. So that's not recommended, absolutely not. So yeah, and if you can like kind of guess when she's gonna get the action advance. So as soon as you see her energy bar kind of filling up with the second white bar that you see in her, so whenever you get that filled up, you will get an extra turn with an extra skill point to get the ultimate. So that's basically how she works. You didn't know, but yeah. So other changes for Cypher, based on the community feedback, we're moving Cypher from support damage to amplifier instead. That's like the same thing kind of, because support means like she's sub DPS and amplifier means she's increase the team's DPS. So in a way, Cypher kind of increase the team DPS because it takes the team's damage and does it herself. That's like the same thing. The reason behind this is that many consider Cypher's ultimate damage to be a form of team-wide amplification instead of her own damage. Yeah, as I said, we understand this argument and agree. We're moving her to amplifier in all 3 modes. Okay. 3B and Cypher share some similarities. While we have discussed moving 3B to amplifier before, we feel she does enough personal damage to justify her place in support damage for the time being. Let us know what you think about this. Okay, so I don't really have an issue with being amplifier or support. It's like, I'd say it's kind of the same thing to be honest. But I think both of them can be sub DPS and amplifier because they do both role perfectly. uh, kind of in a way, if you know, if you like understand what I mean. But it's whatever, I don't really care. Of course TV is a really good T0 in everything, and Cyber is T0 in both T1 and Purification because he's kind of single target kind of. But yeah, okay, so let's talk about other changes in MOC. Only MOC changes, didn't really change much for other modes. Okay, so MOC Anaxa, damn, Anaxa moved up to T0.5 to T0 for MOC. That's crazy. So I think this is for the support one. We're following through on Anaxa's watch list from the last time and moving into T0. Yeah, he was on a watch list last time. So they finally followed it. I mean, Anaxa is kind of goated, to be honest. A really good character. Does damage and everything. Like, he's really good. But Anaxa moving up and Herta moving down is kind of sense because they work in the same way, and is like Anaxa is like the best teammate as Herta has. So that's kind of strange, but I do understand why they moved down Herta from T0 to T0.5 because this MOCC does not perform that well. Let's read the justification. With the introduction of Archer and Saber and Anaxa taking his place in T0, we're once again adjusting T0 similar to my day. We're moving the lowest of the T0 performers down a rank. This time that's the Herta. Okay, so they're saying all these characters work better than the Herta, which is, to be honest, normal. Okay, this is, I think, pure fiction. Okay, I will listen to, okay, MOC. I think that's the wrong list. I didn't saw phainon and I was like, where is phainon? So MOC. So these characters work better than Herta, this MOC. That's normal, right? Castor can work incredibly well first side. Archer only came out, he's working perfectly. Anaxa moved up, Anaxa working great. Of course, Aglaya is also great and phainon also broken. So that's fair. He's say all of them are at T0.5 on a similar level. But I'd say if more 5 target content comes up in the future, Herta will definitely move up, I'd say. But yeah, that's fine. Bronya moving up to T0 tier 1 from tier 0 is 1.5. After the release of phainon, Bronya has seen a significant uptick in performance and users in MOC. Based on this, we're raising her to T1. Okay, so that's of course it's like a partner tag, you can say as well, because it's only because of phainon. Bronya does not have any other use cases kind of. But that's whatever. She's like she might even get replaced after Seredra comes out, but we'll see. Ting Yoon watch list up. Okay, so they had a watch list on her, I think, after phainon came out, similar to Bronya. But okay, I think they did not have a watch list up means they just added the watch list, similar to Bronya, but to a much lesser extent. Ting Yoon has also gained some ground thanks to phainon. We're watch listing her to move up. Okay, so I think she will move up because Saber also came out and Ting Yoon works great with Saber as well. So working with two new characters, that's like great for a support. So I think she will definitely move up. Sparkle watch list up with Archer releasing. See how what tier she is. So it's tier 1 in all of them and tier 1.5 in pure fiction. Okay, I think she can be tier 0 for both MOC and AS with a partner tag with Archer and only one team. Otherwise he can be tier 1, but I think that would be more complicated and confusing. Players will think why is she not working without Archer like real. So I think this is fine with Archer releasing and Sparkle being his best teammate. Expect her to improve. We expect her to improve her scores and uses considerably. Before moving her though, we want to see exactly how much by first. We're placing her on the watch list to move up. Okay, so of course they did add a partner tag for Archer. So I don't think Sparkle would be bad because without Sparkle, Archer can't do anything, right? So Archer isn't doing all that without Sparkle. So I think Sparkle would be pretty good in the similar team. But yeah, without Archer, it's like not even close. It's like kind of bad. So yeah, I think that's all the changes we have for the Fate collab, and the tier list of course looks like kind of like this. For MOC and Axa moving up, Herta going down as well. And for pure fiction, I think they moved phainon up this time. Quite strange. I did not expect that at all. I expected them to move phainon up for Apollo Desado, but it is what it is, man. They added saber on the tier 1. I think blades would be T0 for pure fiction, to be honest, or at least tier 0.5. But yeah, and for AS, of course, archer gets added here. Any other changes? I think no other changes. He gets here. Yeah, that's majority of the changes. Let me know what you think about these changes and how did your pull saber pulls go. If you pull for saber, good luck on your pulls. And with that, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure to subscribe. Peace.